This is my favorite lesson to teach, vivids and pastels. So what are vivid and pastel hair colors? Well, they're fashion-toned hair colors that are direct dyes on pre-lightened hair. I love vivid and pastel hair colors because no mixing is involved. You can intermix the colors together to create your own creations, and they're extremely hydrating. So it's important to always consider the underlying pigment of your hair before applying a pastel. We know that pastels live in those blonde levels of hair. If you've got yellow within your hair, because that's what we see at that blonde level, and you want lilac or lavender hair, have you ever put on that color and you feel like nothing happened? It's because those colors neutralized each other because they're opposites on the color wheel. Therefore, go ahead and tone your hair to neutralize that underlying pigment before applying your pastel hair color, and you'll get better results. And if you'd like to learn more about toning in the color wheel before applying your pastel, be sure to check out our other videos on DIY University by Sally Beauty regarding toning in the color wheel. The great thing about vivids are, if you didn't lift your hair all the way to that perceived blonde level, you can still use vivids. However, depending on how light your hair is, that's how much the intensity is going to show up in your hair. When I explained the pastel, we talked about neutralizing any color within the hair before applying that pastel. We've created more of a clear color for that pastel to go on. With a vivid, we might actually want the hair to look less hollow for a bigger impact and a bigger color punch. That way, we know we don't need to neutralize and we can actually use that underlying pigment to our advantage. So now that we've explained pastel and vivid hair color, the best part about it is that you can apply them exactly the same, which makes it easier for you at home. So as you can see, I've done my 5 partings, and feel free to change your partings if they work better for you at home. I always say the more sections and the smaller sections give us more control. I can go ahead and outline my section. The reason I trace the parting is to make sure that all the hair is covered no matter which angle I'm holding it at. After I've traced, the next step I'm gonna do is take out 1/8 inch of a section from my parting. Now you can go horizontally or you can go vertically. For DIYers, I always prefer to go vertically because that way you're pulling the hair away from the face. Make sure you have good tension. Heavy saturation is key when it comes to applying vivids or pastels. That way we know that the color is going to be even all throughout our application. When I finish my section, I can go ahead and pull it back and begin my next section, which is 1/8 of an inch section. If you can't tell what 1/8 of an inch section is, it's a section that's thin enough that if you place a newspaper behind it, you could read through it. And if you love a minty pastel color, this is Mint to Be by Strawberry Leopard, and I have to tell you, it smells so good. I'm going to apply the base and then pull through the mid shafts to the ends. Notice how I use the brush back and forth and I roll the hair onto my hand, using my fingers to work that color in. This is to ensure that all the hair is covered. A great way to maintain your pastel hair color or vivid hair color at home is to use cold water when washing your hair. Cold water actually closes the cuticle, retaining your color longer. A great shampoo to use is the Strawberry Leopard Color Safe shampoo because it's meant to maintain pastel and vivid hair color at home. As you can see, I did this section subsection by subsection. That's to make sure that we get full coverage and full pigment saturation throughout all the lengths of the hair. After finishing this section, you actually don't need to rinse. You can just directly move on to the next section. That's because this will never over process and it's very conditioning for the hair. I love vivids and pastels so much because they're the best way to express yourself in a loud way. So have fun, be creative, and I can't wait to see your creations online. Thank you for watching DIY University by Sally Beauty. Be sure to like and subscribe and check out some more videos.